Hello guys, it's 326 day 7. We have spent so much time on Black map. By using Doriani's prototype Mercenary, we can easily AFK in Black Ravage map by a relatively low budget. I made a video yesterday. If you haven't checked that, you should see it, and it's so powerful. Black gives us a lot of currency. The AFK build is almost done. So I think now it's time to go mapping for the new league content. I'm trying to upgrade my Mercenary to Infamous version. So currently my Atlas trade is T16 distance big farming, 2 minutes to finish a map. The 326 new mechanism auto drop memory map. I tried few of them. It is more rewarding, but enemies are very tough. Require our build should both have enough damage and more tankiness. So today I will introduce an updated version 2 Chains of Command mapping setup in a low budget. I also enhance our defense without trade-off too many damage. And most important, now we can use one single version of passive tree for both mapping and blind AFK. We no longer need to change our passive node to achieve more defense there. Our defense will be more rely on character gear change and mercenary. Mercenaries can provide so many defense functions. Our character is more easy to build multiple layers of defense in very low budget. Okay, so first, we should cap our block chance. The gear for character, we should prepare a rare shield with at least 40% of chance to block, and it should also have a T1 chance to block spell damage. And for the rest of the suffix and prefix, you can choose whatever you want. You can choose more life, or more resist, or maybe some life regen. And the shield like this is relatively very cheap compared to those unique shield. So we just easily to replace our enemy shield. Then we can get a lot of block chance and block spell damage chance. And we will also replace our Arctic armor by Tempest shield. It will grant us 26% chance to block spell damage. Okay, so with this setup, now we already achieved 45 block attack damage chance and block spell damage chance. And next, we will replace our Spirit Offering to Bone Offering. To utilize Bone Offering, we will also change our Ascendancy. Ascendancy is the only change on our passive tree. So we will refund our Plotchbringer to take the Mistress of Sacrifice. And if you are still playing the Chaos version Chains of Command, then you can refund Commander of Darkness. But you need maybe use the shield to get more resist to compensate back the resistance you lost, and to take the Mistress of Sacrifice. It will give 50% of your offering to you. And when it combined with the Bone Offering, you should take the full quality to get 10% more increase effect. It will give us a lot block attack and spell damage chance. And you should also take this minion offense mastery with the 20% increase effect of offering. It will dramatically increase the block chance that we apply to our character and our minion. So with Bone Offering, now we can easily cap our attack and spell chance. We just need 2% more block chance. So last, we will buy a second Hero's Truth. Because this amulet is very cheap, so we can just buy a new one and anoint with Tetsudo. And it will give us 10% increased chance to block and increased block recovery. So we can replace for our previous amulet. Because our previous anointment, the Raven's Horde, is too expensive, you will not want to overlap this. So with this setup, now we can easily to cap both our block attack chance and our block spell chance. Okay, so that's all for the gear and the passive tree we changed. And the rest of the change will on our Mercenary. I personally use a melee Mercenary with the Enduring Cry and Vitality. And for the weapon, I just choose a Cunning Strike weapon for more damage. And for the helmet, I also take more damage. Now because I'm in Void Forge version, so I use a Shaper base to let nearby enemies take 6% increased elemental damage. And if you are playing the Chaos version, then you can use the Elder Rare helmet to let nearby enemies to reduce their Chaos resist. For the Amulet, we use Shaper Seed to grant our minions and character 4% of life regeneration. And because our character we use Ancient School, the Whisper will give our minions a lot of damage, but they will take 20% of their maximum life as chaos damage over time. So this Shaper Seed and Life Regen will really help to sustain our weapon and our Aegis life pool. And for the ring, we just use 2 Screaming Terror. And as you can see, my Aegis glove is still using Ascendant Gentle Touch, and I can still sustain 8 weapons most of the time. That's enough to handle most of the situations. And if you are doing a bossing, then you can just bring 2 additional Wound Ring on the character. To use 4 Wound Ring, you can easily to sustain your weapon on the maximum number, even use Ascendant Gentle Touch. But if you are using Grab Bind, I think 2 rings on the Mercenaries is already enough. And next is our body armor. I use a Crusader base to take the you have concentrated ground around you while stationary. So when we close to our mercenaries, then we will get the concentrated ground and also the enduring charge. This gives us a lot of life regen and physical and elemental reduction. For the glove, I use Hand of Heresy. It will excommunicate enemies on melee hit for 3 seconds, so they will not doing any chaos damage. That is good for the survivability. And next is the build. We use Koan's Binding, and it will convert 20% of enemies' physical damage to fire. This is very helpful for avoid one-shot, because for most of the build, a big physical damage is their weakness, and to convert physical damage to other elemental damage is the best way to avoid one-shot. And that's also the reason why I still keep a Ruby Flask here, because those damage will convert to fire, and I'm trying to get more maximum fire resist here. And last, for the boot, I use Kaltura's Certainty, and it will make our mercenary unaffected by bleeding and poison. And even though the resistance is not capped, also the chaos resist, but actually my mercenary never died in map even once. Okay, so with this setup, currently we can always have about 700 life regen. Because our ascendancy, our minions damage will also leech life for us. So that is additional 600 life regen. So we can have totally about 1300 life regen. So in most of the time, I don't even need to use my life flask. Those damage, they will recover really fast. In the last 10 maps, I only died once. And that time is I trying to face tank a corrupted decent rare monster. So I am quite satisfied for the tankiness I already have now. Now currently I can farm T16 Essence and Mercenary with no problem. For the memory map, you still have chance to die, but I think your tankiness is already above most of the build. So if you don't do something stupid or try to face tank something, then that should be okay. Okay. So that's all the content for today. I will leave my current POB in the comment. And if you want to go back to AFK Blight, that's also easy. You just change back your shield, your amulet, your Arctic armor, and your spirit offering. Then you refund back your ascendancy. Okay, then you are ready to go back to the Blight. And oh, I almost forget one thing. For the jewel, while doing the mapping, at least one of the duo have minion hands to blind on hit with attack. It will blind the enemies and let them cause 20% less accuracy rating and evasion rating. And also, the other one should have minion have chance to taunt on hit with attack. It will reduce 10% of the damage caused by the enemies. That is really helpful to avoid one shot. If we don't get one shot, then our life regen will quickly to recovery us back. For the further upgrade, if you have budget, then you can replace your Chaos Receipt Flask to Progenesis, but that will be very expensive. That is one of the most powerful survivability flask in the game. It can significantly avoid the one shot. Okay, so I think that's all the content for today. I will continue to mapping and try to upgrade my mercenaries to infamous version. And in my last video, and while doing the Black FK in last video, I using Doriani's prototype mercenaries. But remember, do not use that mercenary during mapping, because in mapping they are more dangerous than Blighted map. So the Doriani's mercenaries, it is highly chance to die by the essence rare. It is also preferred to get a more defense layer mercenary because we already have enough damage. Okay, I think that's all the content for today. So exiles, keep safe and see you next time.